All right, everyone, this is the development nobody wanted to see in the global economy. Iran has officially announced the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, the critical route where nearly 25% of the world's oil supply passes through. This isn't just another headline. The Strait of Hormuz is the heart of global energy flow, and closing it is, in practical terms, a direct signal that the Middle East is now in open conflict. Just days ago, oil had actually closed the week down more than 2%. Markets weren't pricing in serious tension because most investors didn't believe a full closure of the strait was realistic, but that assumption just collapsed. Now, the big question is what happens before markets open on Monday. Is there any chance of de-escalation? Could diplomatic pressure reopen the route? Right now, the outlook is extremely complicated. OPEC has already announced it would increase oil supply in an attempt to prevent prices from spiking too aggressively. But realistically, it's very hard to compensate for the loss of roughly 20% to 25% of global oil flow. Estimates suggest about 23% to 24% of the world's oil moves through that narrow passage. That's massive. Before this, the Houthis in Yemen had already been threatening disruptions in the Red Sea, affecting cargo ships and tankers. But the Strait of Hormuz is on a completely different level. This is the main artery of global oil transportation. Markets are clearly nervous. Bitcoin has already shown volatility, dropping close to 3%, recovering slightly, and then pulling back again, a classic risk-off signal. If this situation isn't resolved before markets reopen, we could be looking at a very red Monday. Some analysts are even warning about comparisons to the 1970s oil crisis. If the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, oil prices could surge toward $110 per barrel, based on projections made during last year's 12-day conflict scenario planning. Now, all eyes are on U.S. private banks and major financial institutions. Many had already modeled extreme price spikes if this exact scenario unfolded. And now, Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz. If you want clear, straight-to-the-point analysis on global geopolitics and what it means for markets, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update. This story is developing fast, and I'll keep you informed.